Hi everybody, it's Dr. Magnifico from Vet and Polly.com. I am here with my very good friend Kim and my very good friend Braden, who's actually videotaping it. And not too long ago, they had to put down their little dog Gracie, who was a Jack Russell, who was like 16?
16 and 5 months.
In 5 months.
Yeah.
She lived a very long, healthy life, although she had a couple big bumps along the way. And she was a patient that I knew very well and have known for a very long time, and she really dodged a couple of big bullets. So I think the longer you have a pet and the more you help them through some pretty sticky situations, the stronger that bond gets between them, and they become a part of my life, you know, as much as they're a really important part of their family's life. And I was talking to Kim about how difficult it is sometimes for me to put a pet down, because I understand exactly how hard it is to lose somebody who's been in your life for a decade or more. And sometimes I'm in that room with someone that I know really well, and we don't have to say very much because they know me well enough to know that I really grieve when I lose my pet, and how I understand how difficult it is for them to lose theirs. And then there are clients who I don't know as well, and what do you say? So I was talking to Kim about her experience and my difficulty sometimes in not knowing what to say and not knowing how clingy to be or quiet and to be, or when we, as much as we're very compassionate at the clinic, you don't live in their shoes, and you don't know how they're going to deal with that loss in the room and how they're going to go home and try to deal with the grieving after. So we were talking about it, and her husband wrote me a little note. It's the cutest thing ever, so I'm going to read it. It says, "Dear Krista, just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts about Gracie. Animals, pets are so special. Seems odd, but that little box is a way we can remember her. She was privately cremated, and in memories the things live on. What a gift! Thanks for loving us so much. Love, Bobby and Kim and Gracie." And there's a little tiny picture of Gracie. Can you see a little picture of Gracie? So we were talking about what can I do to make it better or make it easier, or how can I be supportive without being, clingy or crazy. So while Kim was doing my hair, I thought I would ask her. Do you want to?
Sure. So I'll chime in. So one of the things that Bobby and I both felt like when we first walked into the clinic was a really wonderful balance of just compassionate hearts and just a loving presence. So we were very appreciative of that. It felt calming, just to walk into that feeling in the clinic itself. So then when we went back into the room, just the girls, how not a whole lot of words needed to be spoken. You could tell that they were compassionate just by saying that some of the things like, "We're sorry, about Gracie," and just the touch on your shoulder, or just walking us to the room. Just their hearts were just kind. You could just feel that presence. So I can't express that enough. And then when it was time to have her euthanized, she was sedated, and so it was peaceful for her, and it gave us some kind of quiet time, and the timing was perfect. It wasn't too long of a wait in the room where we felt like, are they ever going to come in? The timing was perfect, and it was just very peaceful. And the final, when she was deceased, that final time where we were just able to spend some time with her alone. And again, just the feel of the presence of Krista's, just compassionate heart. I just can't say that enough, that it was just the compassion that we felt there was top notch and appreciated, and we had enough time afterward to spend with her. So that's what we can say. But
And I think a couple of things are important. One, we sort of knew it was coming, so I told her, I said, here are the options, you can come before I start, or, so talk to your veterinarian about timing, so you're not sitting out in the car waiting, or, sometimes we have that ability to say, okay, we can kind of plan it a little bit so they can come in before I start clinic hours, or we now have a separate area that we can put people in, so if you want quiet time, you can ask about that. So specifically for Vet people, if you want to have quiet place. We can put you in the clinic house, and you can spend time there, and you're not waiting in the reception area, you're not waiting in a room, and it's a really calm, quiet place. So ask about that. Ask if there's a special place. Ask if there's a special time. Ask about sedation beforehand. We don't always sedate, but in a lot of cases I think the patients do much better if you sedate them beforehand. Talk to your veterinarian about taking them out of the room and putting a catheter in, because lots of places do that, and I feel, you know, you have to ask for permission for that. I don't want anyone to be taken in the back and taken away from their family and then, you know, restrained or held to put a catheter in, so that's something else to talk about. And then talk about the cost. Getting private cremation can be expensive, and you need to know that beforehand. And sometimes people even want to pay for it all beforehand and do all the paperwork all beforehand, so you don't have to deal with that while you're there. So lots of things to talk about. And then if you can have time after, and how long, if you do get a private cremation, how long it takes for them to come back. And you can even ask where that's being done. All of the places that we use, you can go there and be part of it if you want to. They will let you be there while your pet is being cremated. They take it very seriously, and they're very respectful. So lots of things to talk about, but try to lay it all out in advance if you can. And then give yourself time to grieve if you need it. Don't feel bad about being in a busy place or being rushed, because we certainly can and we'll do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. Anything else that I missed?
I think that the only other thing, if I had a suggestion to make for anybody who is nearing the at the end of the life of a pet, is to consider pre-planning, you know, a time, you know, kind of walk through it, kind of dip your toes in the water.
She works at a funeral home, and she knows about all of this. I mean, why
Yeah.
don't we follow the same model with putting something in place so that you can have a quiet place and a quiet time and your family there if you want to, and then a memorial service after. You know, it's all about celebrating their life and then helping you through the grief.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, if you have any questions, you can find me at jrsilvet or pavli.com. Thanks.